today to carry out Wayne's last wish, so thank you for being here. Wayne always told us he didn't want a funeral, with people standing around crying and saying how good he looked. He said he wouldn't look good, he would just look dead, and that's never a good look. Instead, Wayne decided that when he was gone, what he wanted was a party in his backyard with treasured friends and family. It looks like Pat succeeded in keeping that promise. As many of us know, Wayne carved out a successful career for himself at DuPont, where he worked for many years, eventually meeting the love of his life. Pat likes to tell the story of when Wayne finally got the guts to ask her out after 6 months of visiting her station to flirt in October of 1981. Shuffling his feet, looking at the floor, he asked her what her plans were for New Year's Eve. Luckily, Pat was never known for her patience, and she asked him instead what his plans were for that weekend.
October.
And just like that, Wayne found himself pulled into the middle of a big, loud, crazy Irish family. Any normal only child like he was would have run like his hair was on fire. But Wayne leaned into the chaos and was embraced with open arms. Wayne was very adaptable like that, and he learned to fit right into a family where being able to conduct 3 conversations at once is not only a life skill, but a source of pride. When he and Pat married in 1984, he inherited 5 sisters-in-law, 1 brother-in-law, all their spouses, and as many little ones as they could pop out. Like me. He also inherited Granny. Wayne was one of those rare men who loved his mother-in-law. He always said if anything went sideways between him and Pat, he was getting Ma Burrows in the divorce. We like to think that they're drinking a bourbon and Coke somewhere together, wherever they are. He leaves a gaping hole in our family. Wayne's daughter Megan was born in 1985 and was the life accomplishment of which he was most proud. He would rush in the door from work and sweep his baby up in his arms, telling Pat, "You've had her all day. It's my turn." He would just hold her for the rest of the evening. He told Pat shortly after Megan was born that you think you know what love is when you get married, but you never know the love you have for your child. He always called her my pretty, my pretty. They were 2 peas in a pod and would talk on the phone for 3 or 4 hours every Sunday afternoon. It saddens me to say that I never had the opportunity to know Wayne as well as my family. I unfortunately was a child for the last few years. I knew Wayne as my cool uncle who let me and my sister play with vintage dull swords in this yard. He showed me every star and planet we could see in the sky from right over there, and he had something to say about every single one of them. I wish I'd grown up faster so I could have known Wayne as intimately as his older family, whose stories I'm telling, but his loss to me has felt just as hard. Wayne was never one for sentiment, but he wanted you to know that if you owe him a beer, you can find him in heaven and he'll gladly let you buy you another one. Anytime someone tells a particularly gritty joke or forwards a tasteless internet email to your spam folder, know that Wayno is looking down with his contagious smile and his laugh. Raise a glass of whatever you're drinking in Wayne's memory, a toast to a life well lived and full of love and laughter.